My fiancée sat across from me at our favorite restaurant. She reached for my hand, said she loved me more than anything. But then she asked for a break, not to work on herself, not for space. She wanted to see if her ex-boyfriend was the one she should really be with. Before we continue, please drop a comment if you've ever experienced something like this. We'd love to hear your story and subscribe to the channel to help us grow. Let me take you back to where this all started. My name is Jamal Reynolds. I'm 42 years old. I work as a financial analyst in Chicago. Good job, good salary, good life, or at least I thought I had a good life. I met Keisha Bryant 3 years ago at a mutual friend's barbecue. She was beautiful, smart, successful. She ran her own event planning business. The kind of woman who could walk into a room and own it. We clicked right away, talked for hours about everything. Music, family, dreams. She made me laugh in a way I hadn't laughed in years. 6 months later, we moved in together. Bought a house in Bronzeville, a beautiful 3-bedroom with a backyard. We hosted Sunday dinners, had family over for holidays. My mama loved her, called her the daughter she never had. Everything felt right. 2 years in, I proposed. Got down on one knee at her parents' anniversary party. Her whole family was there. She said yes, cried happy tears. We set a date for June, 8 months away. Then came that Tuesday night in February. Keisha had been acting strange for about 2 weeks. Distant, always on her phone. When I'd ask what was wrong, she'd say she was stressed about work. A big corporate event coming up. I believed her. Why wouldn't I? We were getting married. We were happy. But that Tuesday, she asked if we could go to dinner. Said she needed to talk. My stomach dropped. Nothing good ever comes from we need to talk. We went to Virtue, the same restaurant where we had our first date. I should have known something was wrong when she picked that spot. She was trying to soften the blow. We ordered, made small talk. Then she put down her menu and looked at me with those big brown eyes. "Jamal, I need to tell you something," she said. Her voice was shaking. "What's wrong, baby?" I asked. She took a deep breath. "Rodney reached out to me." Rodney, her ex-boyfriend, the one she'd dated for 5 years before we met, the one who'd cheated on her multiple times, the one who'd left her crying on her mama's couch, swearing she'd never trust another man again. "Okay," I said slowly. "What did he want?" "He said he made a mistake, that he never should have let me go, that he's changed." My jaw tightened. "And what did you tell him?" She looked down at her hands. "I told him I'm engaged, that I'm happy, that I've moved on." I started to relax. "Good. So why are we—" But I haven't stopped thinking about it. The words hit me like a punch to the gut. "Thinking about what?" I asked. But I already knew. About him. About us. About what we had. She was crying now. "Jamal, I love you. I do. But I need to know. I need to be sure." "Sure about what, Keisha?" "Sure that I'm making the right choice. Sure that I'm not settling. Sure that I'm marrying the right person." Settling. That word cut deeper than anything else she could have said. "So what are you asking me?" My voice was cold now. Calm. The kind of calm that comes right before a storm. "I'm asking for a break. Just a few weeks. To get some clarity. To see if what Rodney and I had is really over. And if it is, I'll come back to you. We'll get married. We'll have the life we planned." I sat back in my chair. Looked at this woman I'd built a life with. This woman I'd planned to spend forever with. And I saw her clearly for the first time. She wanted to keep me as a backup plan, a safety net. She wanted to go test drive her ex to see if he was a better model. And if he wasn't, she'd come back to good old reliable Jamal. "A few weeks," I repeated. Yes, just a few weeks. We don't even have to tell anyone. We can just say we're taking some space. And then when I come back—" "When you come back," I interrupted. "You're already assuming you're coming back." "Well, yes, because I love you, Jamal. This is just something I need to do for myself, for us, so I can fully commit without any doubts." I could have yelled, could have made a scene, could have told her what I really thought. But I didn't, because in that moment I made a decision that would change everything. "Okay," I said quietly. Her eyes lit up. "Okay? Really?" "Yeah. If you need a break to figure things out, take it." She reached across the table and grabbed my hands. "Thank you, baby. Thank you so much. This means everything. I promise I'll come back to you. I just need to get this out of my system." Get this out of her system, like Rodney was a bad cold. We finished dinner. She talked about how this would make us stronger, how honesty was so important, how she was grateful I was so understanding. I nodded, smiled, paid the bill. When we got home, she started packing a bag, said she'd stay with her friend Monique for a few weeks, give us both space. I helped her carry her suitcase to her car. She kissed me goodbye. "I love you, Jamal. I'll call you soon." "Take your time," I told her. "Figure out what you really want." She drove away. Her taillights disappeared around the corner. I walked back into our house, our home, the place we'd built together. And I got to work. The first person I called was my best friend, Andre. He answered on the second ring. "What's good, Jay?" "I need you to come over. Now." He heard something in my voice. "I'm on my way." 20 minutes later, Andre was sitting on my couch. I told him everything. When I finished, he was quiet for a long moment. "So she wants to test drive her ex and keep you waiting in the parking lot," he finally said. "That's exactly what it is." "And you told her okay?" "I did." "Man, please tell me you're not actually going to sit around waiting for this woman." I looked at him, smiled. "Oh, I'm not waiting, I'm leaving." Andre's eyebrows shot up. "What?" "I'm done, man. I'm out. But she doesn't need to know that yet. Talk to me." I pulled out my laptop, opened my email. "You remember Vincent Carter? He works for that firm in Atlanta." "Yeah, you all went to college together. He's been trying to recruit me for 2 years. Offered me a position 3 months ago. Better pay, better title. I turned it down because Keisha's business is here. And now? Now I'm calling him back." But that wasn't even the worst part. What I hadn't told Andre yet was what I'd found on Keisha's laptop the week before. She'd left it open on the kitchen table. I wasn't snooping. I was going to close it. But I saw the messages between her and Rodney going back 6 weeks. Not 2 weeks. 6 weeks. They'd been talking long before she asked for a break, planning to meet up, talking about old times. He was feeding her lines about how he'd changed, how he'd been going to therapy, how he realized she was the one who got away, and she was eating it up. The break wasn't about getting clarity. It was about getting permission. Permission to cheat without technically cheating. Permission to keep me on hold while she explored her options. I didn't say anything to her then. I watched. I waited. I planned. And now my plan was in motion. "So what's your move?" Andre asked. "First, I'm accepting that job in Atlanta. Second, I'm putting this house on the market. Third, I'm packing up every single thing that belongs to her and shipping it to her mama's house." Andre's jaw dropped. "You're serious?" "Dead serious. She wants a break? She's got one. A permanent one. She just doesn't know it yet." "What about the ring?" I looked down at my bare left hand. I'd already taken the ring off. "Keeping it. I paid for it. Consider it an idiot tax I'm refunding to myself." Andre started laughing. Not a happy laugh. The kind of laugh that comes when something is so messed up, all you can do is laugh. "My man," he said, shaking his head. "You're cold. I'm proud of you. But damn, you're cold." 3 years, Andre. 3 years I gave this woman. Helped build her business, supported her dreams, bought a house with her, planned a whole future, and she's willing to throw it all away for a dude who cheated on her 5 times. When you put it like that, there's no other way to put it. That night, I didn't sleep. I stayed up making lists, calls to make, things to pack, people to notify. By morning, I had a plan, a detailed, step-by-step plan to dismantle the life Keisha thought would be waiting for her when she got tired of playing house with Rodney. Day 1, I called Vincent, told him I was ready to accept the position. He was thrilled, said I could start in 6 weeks. Perfect timing. Day 2, I called Angela Morris, best real estate agent in Chicago. She'd sold my cousin his condo. "Angela, I need to sell my house, fast." "How fast?" "I need it listed by next week, sold within a month." "That's aggressive, Jamal. What's going on?" "Life changes. Can you do it?" "For the right price, I can do anything." We set up a meeting for Saturday. She'd come assess the house and we'd talk strategy. Day 3, I started packing. Everything that belonged to Keisha went into boxes. Her clothes, her shoes, her books, her kitchen gadgets, her decorations, all of it. I was methodical, careful. I didn't damage anything, didn't throw anything away. Just packed it up nice and neat. My mama called that Thursday. "Baby, how's Keisha doing?" She mentioned that big event she was planning. I paused. I hadn't told my family yet. Didn't want to deal with the questions, the pity, the advice. "She's good, Ma. Busy with work." "Well, tell her to call me. We need to finalize some things for the wedding. The invitations need to go out soon." My chest tightened. "I will, Ma." There wasn't going to be a wedding, but she'd find out soon enough. That weekend, Angela came by. She walked through the house, taking notes. "Beautiful property," she said. "Great location. You've taken good care of it. I can get you top dollar." "How top?" She named a figure that made me smile. We'd make a profit, a good one. "Listed Monday," I said. "You got it. But Jamal, can I ask, where's your fiancée? Doesn't she need to be part of this conversation?" "She's taking some time away, clearing her head. But the house is in my name only. I can sell it whenever I want." Angela's expression changed. She'd been in the business long enough to read between the lines. Understood. Monday it is. By the end of week 2, the house was listed. Professional photos, online listing, open house scheduled. I'd also shipped 8 boxes to Ruth Bryant's address, Keisha's mama. I didn't include a note. Didn't need to. Ruth would call Keisha. Keisha would have questions, and that's exactly when my phone rang. Keisha's name flashed on my screen. I let it ring 3 times, took a breath, answered calm as Sunday morning. "Hey," I said. "Jamal, what the hell is going on?" Her voice was sharp, panicked. "My mama just called. Said she got 8 boxes delivered to her house with my name on them. Did you send those?" "I did," I said simply. "Why? Why would you do that?" "You wanted a break. I'm giving you space. Figured you'd need your things." "My things? Jamal, those are my clothes, my personal items. Why are they at my mama's house and not at our house?" "Our house." Funny how she still called it that. "Because you don't live here anymore, Keisha." Silence on the other end. Then, "What are you talking about?" "It's only been 2 weeks. We agreed to a break, not a breakup." "You agreed to a break?" "I agreed to let you go figure out what you want. And while you're figuring that out, I'm moving forward with my life." "Moving forward? What does that mean?" I could hear Rodney in the background, asking who she was talking to. She shushed him. "It means exactly what it sounds like," I said. "Jamal, baby, please, can we talk about this in person? I think there's been a misunderstanding." "No misunderstanding. You made your choice, now I'm making mine." "But I haven't made a choice yet. That's the whole point of—" "Keisha, I need to go. I've got some things to handle. Take care of yourself." I hung up before she could respond, blocked her number, blocked her on social media, cut every digital tie we had. Andre came over that night with pizza and beer. "She called you yet?" he asked. "Twice. I blocked her after the first call." "Ice cold, my brother. Ice cold." He bit into his pizza. "So how's the house situation looking?" "Angela said we've already got 3 showings scheduled. Market's hot right now. She thinks we'll have offers by next week." "And the job?" "Start date is March 15th, 4 weeks from now." Andre shook his head. "Man, you really did this. You're really leaving." "Best decision I ever made." "Your mama know yet?" I took a long drink of my beer. "Not yet. I'll tell her this weekend." That Saturday, I drove to my mama's house in South Shore. She was in her kitchen making her famous sweet potato pie. Gospel music played on the radio. The smell of cinnamon and nutmeg filled the air. "There's my baby," she said when I walked in, pulled me into a hug. "You hungry? I've got greens on the stove. Cornbread in the oven." "I'm good, Ma. But we need to talk." Something in my voice made her stop. She wiped her hands on her apron and sat down at the kitchen table, patted the seat next to her. "What's wrong?" I told her everything. The break, the messages I'd found, the house, the job, all of it. When I finished, Mama was quiet for a long time. Then she reached over and took my hand. "I'm proud of you," she said. That surprised me. "You are?" "Yes. You didn't beg. Didn't make yourself small. Didn't wait around like a lost puppy, hoping she'd come back. You valued yourself enough to walk away." "I thought you loved Keisha." "I did. But I love you more. And that girl doesn't deserve you. Never did, if I'm being honest." "What do you mean?" Mama sighed. "I saw things. Little things. The way she'd dismiss you in front of her friends. The way she'd make comments about your job not being as exciting as hers. The way she always needed to be the center of attention. I told myself I was imagining it, that I was being overprotective. But I wasn't. I felt something shift in my chest. Validation I didn't know I needed." "Why didn't you say anything?" "Because you loved her. And sometimes people need to figure things out on their own." She squeezed my hand. "But now you have, and you're doing the right thing. Atlanta's gonna be good for you. Fresh start. New opportunities." "You're not upset I'm leaving Chicago?" "Baby, I'm 68 years old. I know how to get on a plane. You go live your life. I'll come visit." I hugged her tight. "Thanks, Ma. Now eat some of these greens before you go." "You're looking skinny." I wasn't skinny, but I ate the greens anyway. The house sold in 9 days, cash offer, $20,000 over asking. The couple didn't even try to negotiate. Angela called me with the news on a Tuesday afternoon. "Jamal, you're not going to believe this. They want to close in 3 weeks." "Perfect. That gives me time to pack and drive to Atlanta before I start." "You're really doing this, huh?" "I really am. Well, congratulations on the sale and the new chapter." That night, Keisha showed up at the house. I saw her car pull up through the window. She got out, walked up to the door, knocked. I didn't answer. She knocked again. "Jamal, I know you're in there. Your car's in the driveway. Please open the door." I sat on the couch, turned up the volume on the TV. "Jamal, we need to talk. You can't just ignore me." I could, and I was. She banged on the door for 10 minutes. Then she started crying. Big, dramatic sobs. The kind she used to use when she wanted her way. "Please, baby, please just talk to me. I made a mistake. I see that now. Rodney's not who I thought he was. He hasn't changed at all. I want to come home. I want us back." There it was. Rodney had shown his true colors. Probably cheated on her already, or maybe just treated her the way he always had. Disrespectful, dismissive. And now she wanted to come running back to safe, reliable Jamal. But I wasn't her safety net anymore. After a while, she gave up, got back in her car, drove away. My phone buzzed, a text from an unknown number. She'd gotten a new phone or borrowed someone else's. "Jamal, please, I love you. I was stupid. I was scared. I don't want Rodney. I want you. I want our life back. Please give me another chance." I deleted the message, blocked that number too. But what I didn't know was that Keisha wasn't just losing me. She was losing everything. Andre called me the next day. "Yo, you need to hear this. My cousin Tanya works with one of Keisha's clients. Big corporate account. They dropped her." "What? Why?" Word got out about the break. About Rodney. Apparently the CEO's wife went to high school with Keisha. She told her husband that Keisha left a good man to chase her cheating ex. Called her unprofessional. Said if she can't make good decisions in her personal life, how can they trust her with their company events? I sat down. "You're kidding. Dead serious. And that's not all. Tanya said other clients are asking questions too. Keisha's whole reputation is taking a hit. People talk, man, especially in the black business community. Everybody knows everybody." I should have felt bad. Part of me wanted to. But mostly I felt nothing. She made her bed. Now she had to lie in it. The next 2 weeks flew by. I packed up the rest of my things, sold furniture I didn't need, donated clothes. I was ruthless. If it didn't serve my new life, it didn't come with me. My last day in Chicago was a Sunday. Mama hosted a small goodbye dinner. Just family. My aunties, my cousins, Andre and his wife. "To new beginnings," Mama said, raising her glass, "and to my son, who knows his worth." Everyone cheered, clinked glasses. I looked around the table at the people who really loved me, who really had my back, and I felt free. The next morning, I loaded up my car. Said goodbye to the house, drove past all the familiar streets one last time. My phone rang as I hit the highway. Unknown number. I almost didn't answer, but something made me pick up. "Hello? Jamal, it's Ruth, Keisha's mama." I pulled over. "Ms. Ruth, how are you?" "I'm worried, baby. About Keisha. Have you talked to her?" "No, ma'am, not in a few weeks. She's not doing well. She lost her biggest client. Lost 3 more after that. She's talking about closing her business, and that boy Rodney, he cheated on her again, with 2 different women. She's devastated." Part of me wanted to care, wanted to feel sympathy, but I couldn't. "I'm sorry to hear that, Miss Ruth. I really am. But Keisha made her choices." "I know, baby. I know. I told her she was a fool for what she did to you, but she's my daughter, and she's asking for you. Says she needs to talk to you, just once, to apologize, to get closure. Ms. Ruth, with all due respect, I don't owe her closure. She didn't think about closure when she asked for a break to be with another man. She didn't think about my feelings when she was texting him for 6 weeks behind my back." Ruth was quiet. 6 weeks? "Yes, ma'am. They were planning this long before she asked for the break." "Oh, Lord. I didn't know that part." She sighed. "You're right, baby. You don't owe her anything." I'm sorry for calling. I just thought, it's okay, Miss Ruth. You're her mother. You're supposed to protect her. But I have to protect myself. I'm starting a new life, in a new city, and I can't do that looking backward. I understand. God bless you, Jamal. You're a good man. Always were. We said goodbye. I pulled back onto the highway. Atlanta was 8 hours away, but right before I crossed into Indiana, my phone rang one more time, a number I didn't recognize, Chicago area code. I answered. Hello? Mr. Reynolds, this is Detective Barnes with the Chicago Police Department. I need to ask you some questions about Keisha Bryant. My blood ran cold. What kind of questions? She filed a police report yesterday. Claims you stole property from her and abandoned her without notice. Says you sold your shared home and kept all the proceeds. And that's when I realized Keisha wasn't just desperate. She was dangerous. I pulled off the highway, put the car in park. My hands were shaking. Detective Barnes, I didn't steal anything from Miss Bryant, and I have documentation to prove it. I understand this is stressful, Mr. Reynolds, but I still need to ask you some questions. Can you come to the station? I'm 8 hours away. I'm moving to Atlanta. I left Chicago this morning. I see. Well, we can handle this over the phone for now. First question. The house at 4725 South King Drive. Ms. Bryant claims it was jointly owned and you sold it without her permission. That's a lie. The house is in my name only. I purchased it 2 years ago before we got engaged. I have the deed, the mortgage documents, everything. Can you send those to me? Absolutely. What else did she claim? That you packed up her belongings and threw them away, that you kept her out of the house, that you stole jewelry and other valuables. I laughed. Couldn't help it. Detective, I packed every single one of her belongings carefully, shipped them to her mother's house. I have the UPS receipts, the tracking numbers. Her mother signed for every box. As for jewelry, the only valuable jewelry in that house was my grandmother's ring that I gave to Keisha when we got engaged. I kept that because I paid for it. Everything else was costume jewelry that I shipped to her. Detective Barnes was quiet for a moment. Mr. Reynolds, how long were you and Ms. Bryant together? 3 years, engaged for 8 months. And why did the relationship end? She asked for a break to pursue a relationship with her ex-boyfriend. I agreed to the break, but decided to move on with my life instead of waiting for her to finish testing the waters. I see. Another pause. And you have documentation for all of this? The house ownership, the shipped belongings, everything? Every single thing. I can email it all to you within the hour. Please do. Send it to the email address I'm about to text you. Mr. Reynolds, between you and me, this isn't the first time Ms. Bryant has called us with complaints about a former partner. That stopped me cold. What? I can't go into detail, but let's just say this follows a pattern. If your documentation checks out, and I suspect it will, this case will be closed quickly. You might even want to consider filing a counter-report for harassment. I just want to move on with my life, Detective. I understand. Send me those documents. I'll be in touch. I sat in my car for 20 minutes. Forwarded every document I had. The deed showing sole ownership. The mortgage in my name only. The UPS receipts with Ruth's signature. Screenshots of Keisha's texts asking for the break. Everything. Then I got back on the road. 8 hours later, I pulled into Atlanta. The sun was setting. The city skyline glowed orange and purple. My new apartment was in Midtown. Modern building. 23rd floor. Floor-to-ceiling windows with a view that took my breath away. I'd made it. I was free. The first week in Atlanta was a blur. Setting up my apartment. Starting my new job. Vincent introduced me around the office. Everyone was welcoming, professional. The work was challenging but exciting. Better than anything I'd been doing in Chicago. Detective Barnes called on Thursday. "Mr. Reynolds, just wanted to let you know the case is closed. Your documentation was thorough. All claims have been dismissed. Ms. Bryant has been warned about filing false reports." "Thank you, Detective." "No problem. Good luck in Atlanta." I thought that was the end of it. I was wrong. 2 weeks later, Andre called. "Man, you're not going to believe what happened to Keisha." "What now?" "She's being investigated for fraud. Apparently she's been billing clients for services she never provided, pocketing deposits and not delivering. It's bad, Jay, real bad. The state's attorney is involved." I sat down on my couch. How did this come out? When those clients started dropping her, some of them asked for their deposits back. She couldn't pay them. They started comparing notes. Found out she'd been running the same scam on multiple people. They went to the police as a group. Damn. That's not even the worst part. Of course it wasn't. Rodney cleaned her out. Apparently she gave him access to her business account. Said he was helping her with bookkeeping. He transferred everything. $75,000. Then he disappeared. Changed his number. Moved out of state. She can't find him. I closed my eyes. Part of me wanted to feel vindicated, but mostly I just felt tired. She's lost everything, Jay. Her business, her clients, her money, her reputation. Word is she might be facing criminal charges for the fraud. And she's broke. Had to move back in with her mama. That's rough. You don't sound surprised. I'm not. She made one bad decision after another. This is just where those decisions led. Cold-blooded, but fair. After I hung up with Andre, I sat with my thoughts. Keisha had destroyed her own life. Not because of me, because of her own choices. The break was just the first domino. Everything after that was her pushing the rest of them over herself. But what I didn't know yet was that there was one more surprise coming. 3 weeks later, a package arrived at my apartment. No return address, just my name and address printed on a label. I opened it carefully. Inside was a burner phone and a note. The note was from Rodney. "Jamal, you don't know me, but I know you. I want you to know something. What I did to Keisha wasn't random. It was planned. 6 months ago, I ran into her at a conference, found out she had her own business, found out she was engaged to a financial analyst, found out she'd bought a house, she had money, stability, everything I needed. So I came up with a plan. I reached out, fed her lines about changing, about therapy, about realizing she was the one, played on her ego, her need to be desired, her fear of settling. It worked better than I expected. She asked you for a break without me even suggesting it. That part was all her. Once we were together, I love-bombed her, made her feel special. Then I started asking about her business, offering to help. She gave me access to everything, her accounts, her client lists, her deposits. I waited until I had enough. Then I cleaned her out and left. The cheating with other women? That was just to make sure she'd run back to you when I was done. But you were smarter than I thought. You left. You protected yourself. That messed up my backup plan. I was going to have her go back to you, get stable again, maybe even marry you, then hit her accounts again down the line. But you shut that down. So here's what I want you to know. You won. Not because you planned to, but because you knew your worth. You didn't wait around to be someone's second choice. That's rare. Most men would have taken her back. Would have been grateful she chose them after testing the waters. Not you. You walked away with your dignity. I respect that. So I'm giving you this phone. On it, you'll find recordings, conversations between Keisha and me. Her admitting she was using you as a backup plan. Her laughing about how you were so understanding. How you'd wait for her like a good little puppy. I recorded everything. Why am I giving this to you? Because you deserve to know the truth. And because if she ever tries to come back into your life, and she will, you'll have proof of who she really is. Don't feel bad about what happened to her. She was never the woman you thought she was. She was always this person. I just gave her the opportunity to show it. Good luck in Atlanta. You deserve better than what Chicago had to offer. Ah. I turned on the phone. Clicked on the first audio file. Keisha's voice filled my apartment. Girl, Jamal is so sweet. He actually said yes to the break. Didn't even fight me on it. I almost feel bad. Another woman's voice. Probably Monique. Do you think he'll wait? Of course he will. Where else is he going to go? He's 42. Stable. Not exactly swimming in options. He'll wait for me to get Rodney out of my system. Then we'll get married and I'll have the security I need. And what if Rodney's really changed? Keisha laughed. Then I'll have an even better option. Either way, I win. I listened to 3 more recordings, each one worse than the last. Her talking about me like I was a participation trophy, a consolation prize, a safe bet when the exciting option didn't work out. I should have been angry, should have been hurt. But instead, I felt grateful. Grateful I'd trusted my instincts. Grateful I'd left when I did. Grateful I'd never have to see her again. I threw the phone in the trash. Didn't need it. Didn't want it. The past was the past. That Saturday, I met a woman named Simone at a coffee shop in Virginia Highlands. She was a teacher. Beautiful smile. Easy conversation. We talked for 2 hours. She didn't know anything about my past. Didn't know about Keisha or the break or any of it. She just knew the man sitting in front of her. The man who'd chosen himself. The man who'd walked away from disrespect. The man who knew his worth. So what brought you to Atlanta? She asked. A fresh start, I said. Sometimes you have to leave everything behind to find out who you really are. She smiled. I like that. We exchanged numbers. Made plans for dinner the following week. As I walked back to my apartment that night, my phone rang. Unknown number. Chicago area code. I let it go to voicemail. 2 minutes later, a text from the same number. Jamal, it's Keisha. Please. I know I don't deserve it, but I need help. I'm facing charges. I might go to jail. My lawyer says character references could help. You're the only person who... I deleted the message, blocked the number. She'd made her choices. Now she was living with them. That wasn't cruel. That was consequences. 3 months later, I got a promotion at work. My apartment had become a home. I'd joined a gym, made new friends, started dating Simone seriously. Life was good. Better than good. It was mine. Mama called one Sunday. How's my baby doing? I'm great, Ma. Really great. I can hear it in your voice. You sound happy. I am. Good. That's all I ever wanted for you. Happiness. She paused. You heard about Keisha? No. What happened? Plea deal. 3 years probation. Has to pay back all the money she stole. Plus fines. Ruth called me. Said Keisha's working at a call center now. Living in her mama's basement. Barely making minimum wage. I should have felt something. Victory. Satisfaction. Something. But I didn't. That's unfortunate, I said. And I meant it. Not because I cared about Keisha, but because it was a waste of talent, a waste of potential, a waste of a life that could have been good if she'd just made different choices. You're a better man than most, Mama said. Still got compassion even after what she put you through. I don't have compassion for her, Ma. I have compassion for who she could have been. But that person doesn't exist. Maybe never did. Wise words, baby. Wise words. That night, Simone and I had dinner at a rooftop restaurant. The Atlanta skyline sparkled around us. She reached across the table and took my hand. "I have to tell you something," she said. "Okay. I'm falling for you. Hard. And that scares me. Because I don't know your whole story yet. I don't know what brought you to Atlanta, or what you're running from. But I want to know. I want to know all of it." I looked at this beautiful woman, this kind, genuine, honest woman, and I made a decision. I told her everything. The engagement, the break, the messages, the escape, all of it. When I finished, she was quiet for a long moment. "Thank you for telling me," she finally said. "You're not running?" She laughed. "Running?" "Jamal, you just told me you're a man who knows his worth, who doesn't settle for being someone's backup plan, who has the courage to start over when something isn't right. Why would I run from that? Some people might think I was cold, heartless. Some people would be wrong. You protected yourself. That's not heartless. That's healthy." I squeezed her hand. "Thank you." "For what?" "For seeing me. The real me." "That's easy," she said. "The real you is pretty great." 6 months after that conversation, I proposed to Simone. She said yes. We got married in a small ceremony at Piedmont Park. Mama flew in. Andre was my best man. Our friends surrounded us. People who loved us. People who supported us. People who showed up. Keisha wasn't there. Wasn't invited. Wasn't even a thought in my mind. She was a closed chapter. A lesson learned. A reminder that sometimes the best thing you can do is walk away. And I did walk away. Walked away from disrespect. From being someone's second choice. From a life that looked good on paper but felt empty in reality. I walked away. And I walked into something better. Something real. Something mine. That's the end of this story. If it touched your heart, please leave a like and subscribe. Have you experienced something similar? Share your story in the comments below.